Hello, my name is Professor John Benjamin. This is Game Design at West Virginia Wesleyan College. Last time, I introduced you to player start actors, and today I'm going to introduce you to components. So what are components? A component is a way of adding functionality to an actor. It's not like grouping. We're actually building an actor and its functionality out using components or by adding components to an actor. All right, so today we're going to start off with creating a very simplistic police car. All right, and so what I'd like you to do is go ahead to your geometry palette, pull out a box. Okay, and I'm going to shrink it down a bit, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the bottom by holding down the Option key and just duplicating, or the Alt key. And then here I'm going to go ahead and make it a little longer, so it's like your basic car. And if you want a windshield, we can go ahead and create a subtract box like so, and just rotate it 45 degrees. All right, and we can go ahead and group those up. So like for instance here, I can call this initial box brush police car. And I'm going to go ahead and just Control G, just group all of them. All right, so that way when I select the police car here, the whole car is going to move. So what I'd like to do using components is I'm going to create a little siren that's going to go with this police car. Well, the siren's going to be its own actor. And so we're going to start off with a basic cube actor. I'm going to put a little cube actor right here on top of the police car, and we're going to change its shape. So we're going to make it look more like, and in this strange police car, this particular actor is not going to be stationary. All right, and so we're going to add some components to this actor. All right, so the first component is rotation. So let's go over here. So with the actor selected, you can come here and say add a component, and then just type in what kind of component you want. So in this case, we want to add some rotation movement. Okay, I'm just going to type in part of rotation, and there it is. Now for this to work, I have to change the cube from a static mesh to a movable one. All right, and if we hit play, you can see there is the police light. Now it's not, again, that's not how police lights work. But you get the idea. All right, and so let's add a few other components to this so we can make it all. So let's add some police lights to this. So I'm going to go ahead, select the cube, and add another component. I'm going to add a rectangular light. So I just type in rectangle, and there it is. Okay, and I'm going to need to rotate it. And I think for rotation this time, I'm just going to go ahead and just rotate the Z right here to 90. Okay, and that's going to give it a real bright glow, but then I also want the light to project, so I'm going to go ahead and then just go ahead and duplicate. Well, first I'm going to change this color to, this light to red. All right, then I'm going to take down the intensity a little bit. See that color a little better. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate it, and I can drag duplicate it, or I can just right click here and duplicate it. And I'm just going to call this red light out. Okay, and then so for this one, I'm going to rotate it so it shines outwards. So that looks like that's 280. Go ahead and duplicate those two. All right, and let's, I'm going to rename this one blue, and this one will be blue light out. Okay, and so then what I'll need to do though is change their position. I'm going to select both the blue lights, move them over to the other end, and change their color. All right, so now let's take a look at this by hitting play. All right, so we've got some police lights, and I'm going to rename cube to police lights. Okay, and I'll add another component. This time I'm going to add audio. Well, why don't I rename it? Because I want it to be a siren. Okay, so now we need some sound. So you can use sound from your starter content, but I want an actual siren sound. So what I'm going to first do here is I'm going to right-click down on my content browser and say New Folder, and label that My Content. Okay, and then I'm going to go online. Okay, here's a web browser, and I'm going to go to freesound.org, and I'm going to type in a police siren. All right, there we have a police siren, and you can test it out and see if it sounds right. All right, that one works for me. One of the things I should point out, if you want to download sounds from Freesound, you need to log in. You need to create an account. It's a free account, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can just use the starter content. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Police Siren and download it. One of the things you want to make sure, though, actually, so this is a .m4a, so that is not an appropriate file type. So let me go back. We need a .mp4s or .wavs, something along those lines. So let's try this one. And this is a .wav. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Okay, I'm going to locate my downloads folder. Again, if you're on a Mac, your folders obviously are going to look different, but it all operates about the same way in your Finder. So here is my downloads folder, and there is Guitar Guy Police 2 that I downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that right into the my content folder. Okay, and you can play it. Great. And so now what I want to do is I have my siren audio component added already, but I haven't added any sound actors to that. And so with the siren selected over here and down below that part of the details palette, I've got sound. And so I'm going to drag this right into there. Pardon me. Or I can simply type here and locate my Guitar Guy Police 2. And then there it is. Now if you want it to loop, how to do that is go ahead and you just double click on the sound actor, or pardon me, the sound, in the content browser, and there's a little looping checkbox right here. So you can just go ahead and check that. And then there's a lot of other parameters that you can set here as well. All right, just hit save and close that window out. All right, and then let's hit play. And then we can shoot the police. All right, and that's today's lesson on components. Thanks for joining.